So, if you will recall, our last session ended with a bang, as you all found yourselves inspecting a grisly scene, bodies burned and blackened, torn asunder and flung hither and yon. Quite a few. And as you rushed to gather what information you could about what happened before the watch reconvened, you did manage to come up with a couple of valuable clues. First of all, you found a couple of physical clues in the form of a necklace of fireballs that a young halfling boy had found when he saw it dropped from the rooftops by an unknown hand. Seemingly accidentally, it fell into a water barrel near him and his hiding spot. On further inspection, Druck was able to sick flip his way up to the roof without being seen.
Sick flips, man.
And retrieved, to Garrosh's dismay, a fabric scrap with a torn symbol on it, still immediately recognizable to him as the symbol of his god, Gond.
Where's your god now?
Garrosh is also maybe feeling a little bit jumpy because his pocket is heavy with stolen contraband. A pouch of gems that he lifted from the corpse of a gnome that strangely seemed to have his hand outstretched in supplication towards none other than your own tavern stouts and spirits. You also heard a key witness in somewhat hysterics speaking to Vincent Trench, whom she had been visiting as a client, of a puppet without strings that she caught a glimpse of on the rooftops right after the explosion. As you also heard tale from Fala, who had been in their greenhouse when the explosion occurred and actually shattered most of their windows, that they had seen a hunched, humid figure limp their way out of the smoke and disappear, heading in I guess this is probably westerly or easternly direction. I think this is compass is the normal. Yeah, it is. Orientation. So, but as Lucan and I think Porter, correct me if I'm wrong, moved to investigate, you were met by the closing city watch as they advised all witnesses to remain where they were and await questioning, and that no one was allowed to leave. Actually, I take that back. They're urging you all to go back to your homes if you lived in the area and await further questioning, but that no one was allowed to leave their homes or the area. So that is, I believe, where we ended the session. All right. Any questions before we start up?
Well, I do, but it's more a matter of, like, in-character question to another NPC, so not necessarily I can do something.
Start then is that the guards have just advised Lucan and then the rest of you, that you are all to return to the tavern, as well as all the other residences will be returning to their homes or places of business, and await the questioning of the two VIPs who have just arrived on scene. And that's these two guys over here.
Okay.
And let me see if I can give you a quick description. So they're both older, and one of them seems to be wearing old insignia of the City Watch, like antiquated insignia. And it doesn't seem to be dressed formally as a watchman other than that. but he's being addressed as sergeant by all of those around. And he is in step with another gentleman of about the same age, probably in their, I would say, late 60s. And this one is a tall, broad-shouldered, slightly rotund human. They're both human. And this one has a impressive beard and some green-tinted spectacles that he is wearing on his nose, and he looks like this.
Barnabas.
I think I could show you one of the others.
What a name.
Not a great last name.
Yeah.
Here's the other.
I'm waiting for him to
Barnabas,
say
blame it on the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope he
All
comes
right.
up and says, "Milady."
So, so you are headed back to your tavern, and you seem to be at the whim of the city watch now as you wait here, locked, or not locked, but as you wait your turn here in your tavern. Or do you? What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, we've kind of investigated all we can, and I guess we should just wait for the guards and also kind of see what we can gather from, see if we can get more information from them.
Yeah, I agree, because I honestly can't really think of anything that we could potentially do right now other than chase that suspect that was leaving the scene. Or what is it? They said somebody was going towards a tavern, but even still, I don't necessarily want to get in trouble with the guards. They probably all saw us go back into the tavern together, so they would know pretty much how many there are and how many they should be talking to if they were paying that close attention.
I don't exactly want to get blamed for this, so
if you look out the windows, you can see that there is one city watch guard posted at every entrance to your tavern, and it seems to be the same along the road. As you're looking out the windows, you do see the detective pair moving now through the blast radius, and they seem to be paying particular attention to the two human figures in black here.
Remind me, they were the ones that we saw had Zentarum on them?
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So they're the Zentarum. I'm going to quickly whisper to everyone who's watching, which I'm assuming is probably the majority of us, and just say, I know there's Zentarum, but did anyone find anything else on them?
No.
I don't know if we investigated them. I can't remember.
Garrosh made the investigation check, and I think Lucan as well. But the only thing that you came up with of any value is what Garrosh had, and I can't remember if he told anybody about it.
The gems. I think he found it on the goblin, right?
Or it was not a goblin, it was a gnome.
The gnome.
But
Oh,
yes.
no.
Yeah,
I knew it was
I haven't told anybody, and as we're all just kind of hanging out, waiting and watching, I will.
Oh, I think I saw.
Yeah, I feel like somebody saw him, I thought.
Okay, well, yeah. I just haven't explicitly told anyone. But I will go to my room and put the gems away for safekeeping.
Smart.
All right.
And think about what I've done.
Garrosh, make a perception check while you are up there.
All right.
Okay, as you are putting that away, you hear a faint...
What the?
And as you turn towards
that.
your window and look, you see a small winged figure seems to be right outside your window. Just very, very small. It's kind of hard to see because of it's in silhouette exactly what it is. Some sort of animal?
Some sort of devil.
So it's close to the window, not at a distance.
It's right at the window, and
Okay.
it appears to be like tapping on the window.
Okay. I guess I will go open it. Open the window.
As you do, just click as a flash, this winged snake just like ducks in and goes right past you and heads downstairs.
I don't like that. I'm gonna chase it.
Yeah.
So you all are downstairs, and all you see is suddenly Garrosh just like seems to be running like a bat out of hell after a bat. No, it's a snake with wings, and it's heading straight towards Porter, and and it just alights on your forearm, Porter, and wraps its self around your wrist, and looks up at you expectantly, and you see that tied to it, carrier pigeon style, is a small,
oh my god,
cylindrical parchment.
Well, and I thought I'd seen just about every way of sending messages, but I've never seen a carrier snake.
God. I did all that barreling down the stairs for nothing.
It was fun to
I guess
watch.
it's good to get the heart rate up. Not that
Yeah,
we
sorry
need
about that. My lunch just showed up.
It hisses at you.
Well, hey, hiss to you too.
I'm gonna like walk over and see if it'll like if it's.
I take
I guess
the.
I'm gonna use in quotes friendly, or at least not gonna bite me because I would like to pet it if it will allow me.
Playing with your food.
Well, I'm not gonna eat it. Clearly, it's likely Centauran related.
Oh,
I'm not about to eat one of their snakes just because I was hungry.
Delicious.
Well, you can have at that. I will try to see if I can make friends with it. Not interested in getting killed by one of these things at night.
I take the note off.
All right. As
I will
you
pet it if it lets me.
as you open it, you can see that it looks like scribbles and scratches.
Scribbles
Scratches.
and scratches.
Scratches. 1 second. Let me check something. I would let Druck. You could make a history check.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. I got nothing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
if
too
you
busy
want,
looking at the crime scene to pay attention to what's going on.
you can make
My
an
nose
investi-
is like plastered up against one of our windows.
Yeah.
I'm just staring outside.
Porter, you can make an investigation check if you would like.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, as you're looking at it, you kind of angle it towards the light in the that's filtering through the windows, and you're still somewhat darkened tavern since it's still early morning, and you catch sort of a different shape, and as you hold it up to the light, you see that whenever
These are moon runes.
exactly. When the paper or the parchment is held to the light, the scribbles and scratches that are on the back and the front kind of form together where you can see through them. You can see both of them. And
Ooh.
it makes a message that says this in the chat. Not our work. The faction is sundered. Beware the seen snake.
The snake they just sent me?
What snake? There is
It was
no
a trap.
snake.
It was a trap.
The
There you
snake
go.
that you are referring to is no longer there.
Oh, I was trying to
Aw.
make friends with it.
Ah, that would have made
Um,
good finger food.
Carter, you can make a perception check with advantage.
Oh, Roy. Turn on advantage. Here we go. Perception.
Yeah, you saw that thing like whenever at the moment of everyone's least amount of attention just kind of dart and into a shadow a couple of feet away and just slither out of sight.
Nice.
So yeah, it's gone.
It's gone forever.
Let's see. Any of y'all any two of you can make intelligence checks.
Oh yeah, we're all really good at those.
I know.
Go intelligence.
Not intelligence
one.
save, just a regular intelligence.
Oh. It's probably the same thing.
Hey.
Oh.
Investigation.
Oh yeah, think with your head, not protect yourself with your head.
Oh shit.
Nice. So I assume you read this out to everyone.
Because if one of us is in one guild,
sure.
yeah, then all of us clearly are.
Yeah.
Sure,
You don't have to. I'm just.
That's what I do.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what I gain from hiding it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, as you say this, you and Carnamarai kind of think for a moment. You're all sitting there thinking, and then all of a sudden you catch Carnamarai's eye, and you both kind of say at the same time, "The armbands."
Oh.
And you remember that, I feel like that it was Davil's Star Song, your Zit contact, but it may have been Hustis Stagit, mentioning that there was a bunch of odd-looking Zentarum around lately.
Oh.
And when you think about the contrast between your initiation, Porter, and the people there, and the victims that you've seen in the gang wars that went south in the streets, and other ones that you've seen in custody,
Yeah.
the Zents that you were initiated by don't dress all in black armor or have armbands. They don't look any different from any other person that you might see. Like, there's nothing distinguishing about them to be Zents.
They're not experiencing their goth phase, is that what you're saying?
Exactly, yeah. They're not trying to be seen.
Yeah, they're trying to blend in as opposed to being visibly.
Yeah. So. And these two corpses, their clothing and mostly their clothing, the black leather armor, matches the Zents that you've run into on your on the trail from the beginning of the campaign. The Zents that you found in the warehouse with Kenku that were dead. The Zents you've seen, like I said, in the gang wars in the streets. And now these two. So it seems that your faction is warning you that there is a split.
They're imposters.
A split going on in the Zentarum. Not imposters. Just...
Oh, okay. Just a faction.
Yeah.
Split.
Anyway.
Well, okie dokie.
Well, I guess that's something to be aware of. So we want to trust those that are not, or not trust those wearing armbands.
That would seem to be the long and short of it, yes.
Cool.
All right. So, as Druck, you're still watching out the front, and you see the two detectives, after they finish looking over the crime scene here, they turn and head directly to your tavern first.
Oh, shit.
And it is at this point that I will move us over to the other map.
Before they knock,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to quickly turn to my compatriots, to the rest of the party, and I'm going to pull out the necklace. And I'm going to say, the little halfling that I found by the water barrel hiding, he saw this drop from the roof. Do you think I should show it to give it to them, or should we hold on to it?
Is there still uses on it?
We
No, we don't know what it
what
is.
it does, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you guys. I don't know if we can roll Arcana quickly or something.
Let me pull up Lucan real quick. He's not trained in Arcana, so yeah, I don't think Lucan's going to be a huge help in this or with any of his spells.
I'm not trained in Arcana either. But I'll say quick, do you think I should give it up, or do you think I should just, keep it to ourselves?
Let's let them do the talking as much as possible. If we need to turn it in, we can find it tomorrow. And I give you like a wink.
Sounds good.
Just keep it for now, and
I
I
will
will
put it back in my. I'll put it back in my pocket.
keep it for now. I can identify it later.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan, and I'll quickly stuff it away.
All right. And at that moment, there is a knock on the door, and immediately after, without waiting for your response, these two gentlemen enter. And Barnabas Blastwind says, "Well, well, well. Quite a day, huh?" And he comes in and holds out his hand, and he says, "Barnabas Blastwind."
I will go right over and shake his hand and say, welcome on in to the this Stouts and Spirits, or whatever our fucking tavern's name.
That's right.
I took my Adderall
Where the
super
fuck
early.
I am?
I need to go to bed at 8 o'clock, so I'm completely out of it, and I apologize. But I'll say, welcome on in. My name is Kamarai Amastasia.
I am, as I said, Barnabas Blastwind. I work for the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors.
Well, it's wonderful to meet you.
I'm the one they call when there's a mystery afoot.
Oh.
And you see Sergeant Cromley behind him sort of sigh enough to ruffle his walrus mustache. Or does he have a... Maybe
He does now.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does. And sort of smile and roll his eyes a little bit. And Barnabas says, "And this is Seth Gromley. He often assists me with such things. We bring him out of retirement occasionally." And Sergeant Cromley just says, "Whatcha?"
I will go over and say, well, it is wonderful to meet you too, and I'll give him a big handshake. You kind of have to grab his hand and shake it. He just kind of is a little standoffish, but he smiles.
Good. I'll say, well, come on in and take a seat. Grab a seat anywhere. We're not open yet.
Actually, if I could be so bold, could I have you all take a seat at the bar?
Of course.
And
That is bold.
Cromley sits over by the window, and Barnabas waits for you all to take a seat.
I'll scramble up one.
And then
I will remain standing.
he just levels an eye at you and waits.
Yeah, I guess we're going to be waiting here for a while.
I'll grab the back of his shirt and pull him over to me, and I'll be like, just at least stand by the bar.
I don't want you to be laboring under any false pretenses, but this is an official investigation, and I am working under the highest authority of the officials of Waterdeep. So please, I must insist, take a seat.
I didn't realize you had to take a seat to do an investigation. My apologies.
Apology accepted.
I will pull Porter over to the bar.
All right. So he just starts pacing back and forth in front of you, and he says, "All right, the case as it stands." And he goes over, the time of the blast, the people who were caught in it, and
Do we learn any new information from what he's telling us?
perhaps. Let's see.
Perhaps.
Well, I'm assuming the names and the people, if they give us any of that.
He doesn't say anything. So he doesn't tell you anything you don't know until he pauses for a moment, catches his breath, and then claps his hands, wheels towards you, and he says, "Now, I came straight here because I have reason to believe the gnome in question was coming here, and I would like to know what you might know about that."
What makes you say that? Why would he be coming here? We've never met the man before, or I should say, I guess, we've never met that gnome before.
I'm asking the questions.
Oh, well, I
I
guess,
I don't really know any gnome.
yeah, we've never had a gnome in.
Does a gnome have a name?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's a question. I'm sorry.
So you're saying you are unfamiliar with any gnome that you are aware of that would have any business with you?
Other than
Well, I mean,
wanting
I
something to
suppose
eat or
they could-
drink.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. But we weren't open yet, so I have no idea. I've never met him before.
We've just recently opened and we're only now just building our client base. I don't believe any of us have ever met this man.
I see.
Does-
What
does-
of, I assume you saw the two humans in black armor.
Yes.
Are you acquainted with anyone that matches that description?
We didn't recognize them, right?
Not recognize them, you know their Zents, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll kind of just glance over and be like, well, I mean, we've seen people around in black armor and whatnot. I didn't look particularly friendly, any of the ones I'd seen before, so I personally have never spoken to any.
You've earned quite a reputation for yourselves. You seem to have the ear of one of my fellows in the force. What is this? He's a Sergeant Eustace. Anyway, he mentions Eustace. Seem to fancy yourselves a bit of investigators, perhaps even. And I was just curious if you truly don't know anything of these gnomes or the black armored gentlemen. Did you happen to find anything before the City Watch arrived? Anything that could be of use? I would implore you to come forward with it, because we are here to get to the bottom of this, get justice for these innocents. And there seems to be something much greater at stake as well.
I mean,
I just kind of shake my head like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
if we were to hypothetically talk about said gnome, what would you say about this gnome? Not asking any question, but just talking out loud.
I'm sorry, I don't think I follow.
Okay.
Jimmy,
Well, let me
could
ask
you-
questions.
Druck, could you roll a...
Perception?
yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if you made me do that or not. So I was like, I'm just gonna close my mouth and hope no.
Not good, not bad.
All right. You hear Crumley sort of clear his throat a little as he's sitting there, but he's just still gazing absentmindedly out the window. And Blastwind immediately directs his attention to you, Druck. And he says, "Oh, you mean to tell me a nimble, clever-fingered creature of the shadows such as yourself found nothing? Or perhaps you didn't bother to look?"
I kind of furrow my brow a bit, trying to figure out, like, is he being racist or not? And then I say, perhaps you do not know much about my people, but we are not exactly accustomed to being out in the sunlight. It hurts our eyes, so no. While I was out, I was mostly staying in shadows and looking at ground. I do not like being outside during the day.
then you would have no objection to turning out your pockets.
Kind of.
Turn out your pockets, Potter. Just kidding.
Yeah, I kind of, even though I have nothing to hide, there's just part of me that's just like, ugh.
You don't have anything to hide?
I don't have anything, do I?
I mean, you're the one who picked up that scrap of fabric with the symbol of Gond on it.
I completely forgot about that. Oh,
sorry. Well, that was one of the things I went over at the beginning.
I must have missed. I'm sorry. I was only thinking about the necklace and the gems. I wasn't thinking about that. Oh, okay. Shoot. Okay. In that case, I will turn out my pockets and I will hide that piece of fabric.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
Oh no.
No!
All right, so as you pull things out of your pockets, you attempt to like whisk it with a claw, but it hangs and gets caught, and then with a flutter, kind of flutters up into the air dramatically, and settles at your feet. Okay, let me see. Make a couple rolls here. All right. So Blastwind goes through everything, and he crooks an eye at a couple of stuff. Doesn't touch anything. He's just kind of looking over everything. He looks a little longer than normal at the noble's handkerchief that you have, and then steps back and he says, anyone else care to contribute? Or are you maintaining that you have nothing else that will aid us in our investigation?
So, did the piece of cloth, he didn't see it or didn't pay attention to it?
You don't know. Or you can roll inside, I suppose.
I'm going to step forward and say, well, I mean, I didn't find anything outside of the little halfling boy who was in the who was hiding next to the water barrel. He said his friends were the ones that were accidentally caught in the blast, and who perished. I don't remember if I got the kid's name, and I said, but the officers outside, they've got the information. They've got his name and his mother's name, so that you could speak to him later. He was right on scene when it occurred, so that would certainly, he would certainly be a good source of information. But other than that, I mean, I know healing magic, and so I was trying to assist anybody that was injured.
He nods at you and nods at Cromley, who scribbles something in his notebook back there. Druck, you get the feeling that this guy doesn't miss much.
Okay.
And Carter Mariah would like you to make a deception check with advantage.
Yes.
Because that was not exactly lying. Hey!
Nice.
All right. Yeah, he doesn't miss much, but he doesn't press you for any more information.
Wonderful.
So, after some time, they confer for a moment quietly, and then both stand, and he says, well, I thank you for your assistance in this.
Of course.
Your cooperation with the officials of Waterdeep is always advised. And as he says that, he makes direct eye contact with you, Porter, over his little green spectacles. And and then he says, that will be all for now. And as they head out the door, they disappear out the door, and then he pops his head back in, and he's like, oh, don't leave town. and then they're gone.
Uh,
Well, we survived.
That could have gone better.
Could have gone worse, though.
So
I start
I
putting things back in my pockets.
I want to pick up that cloth with the symbol of Gond on it.
Mhm.
How large is it? Like, is it?
It looks
Like
like
a-
just like the hem, like a decorative hem, on a cloak or some sort of vestment, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's just it's decorative, but there's just like 3/4 of the Gond gear symbol that
Yeah.
seems to be repeating, and that
Yeah.
it's not very big. I mean,
Is it like the size of like a lunch napkin?
no, I would say it's more like palm sized. It's not very big at all.
Okay.
Just a scrap of fabric.
This is the symbol of Gond, who is Garrosh's god, right? It's not like necessarily a bad symbol in the terms of like if you saw a Zint symbol.
Yeah, it's not like an immediately.
he's a deity of very much so like good alignment.
Oh, okay. So like it would have been odd that Svadruk had that, but not necessarily like it wouldn't be as good.
No.
Like it would definitely be far worse if it had like a Zint symbol or something
Yeah.
on it.
Okay.
Right.
Well, as I'm holding it, I will say, Druck, my brother, do you mind if I keep this?
Go ahead. I was going to ask you about it later.
All right. I'll hold on to it for safekeeping. Thank you.
Also, why don't I hold on to something for you while you're holding on to something for me? So I'll just go up and get that stuff you put upstairs.
Like, how do
you find
No, I'm just
something else?
I mean, if you
saying
want
I
to,
just
I
gave a
won't
little
stop.
smile.
If you want to, I won't stop you, but I'll be kind of like flabbergasted.
No,
like,
I'm not actually doing it. I'm teasing you. Yeah.
I want to let you do it.
Did you in character actually say that or not?
Yeah, just
Oh,
jokingly
okay.
to him.
Okay, well then, I give you shocked expression. I'm like, how did you find my secret stash?
No, I was more implying that I saw you go off and.
I know.
where it is, but
Yeah, I'm just kidding around. I'm just palling around. You gotta be careful. You don't know what you're gonna find in there.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, I'll hold on to the scrap.
All right. Are y'all discussing a little bit what you found amongst yourselves, just trying to figure it out, or
Yeah.
what's your next move?
All right, y'all gonna have to recap for me real quick.
Svadruk failed his sleight of hand to conceal the fabric piece of Gond. He rolled an insight on Blastwind, who had just looked over the contents of Svadruk's pockets, but didn't seem to react to anything. But based off of Svadruk's insight check, he got the feeling that Blastwind doesn't miss much. He didn't take anything though. And he seemed to take Karna Mirai at her word that they didn't find anything else, but the halfling boy might be someone of interest to speak to. Karna Mirai, remind me, did you tell Martum? Did you tell Martum not to say anything about the fireball necklace?
Yeah, I did.
I feel like
Yeah,
you did.
she
yeah.
did.
I did because I told him I would talk to the police about it. So don't worry. He didn't have to say anything.
And then, yeah, they just he left, or they left, and right before he said to that he advised that it's always best to cooperate with officials, and he leveled a gaze at you, Porter, and then left, and then poked his head back in and said, "Oh yes, and don't leave town," and then they left.
Gotcha.
So and then now let's see, Svadruk asked Garrosh, or gave Garrosh the scrap at Garrosh's request, and then Svadruk said, "Sure, and I'll hang on to what you just put up in your room."
Nice.
And now you're discussing what could possibly have been reason for some unknown gnome to try to contact you. And I guess at this point again, I would have two of you can make intelligence checks again to see if you can recall some of the information that y'all have been slowly
I'll try
gathering.
this time.
Yeah, I'm going to as well.
Just because I'm rolling so well tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Another
So,
middle of the road.
Garrosh, as you're thinking back over it, you're like, gnome. What gnomes have we run into? And you first think of Schemo, weird bottle. But
Schemo's a gnome?
Yeah, but he dresses all in purple.
I thought that was
he's a deep gnome.
He's a deep gnome.
That was Zoblob, right?
No, he was in Zoblob's shop. He owned Zoblob's shop, but his name is Schemo Weird Bottle.
Well, why did he tell me his name was Zoblob?
No, there are two. Zoblob is a gnome, and Schemo's a gnome, right? They're
No.
both gnomes. No?
No.
Wait.
They're the same
think-
person?
Yes.
Wait.
What?
Now I'm super confused.
There's the old Zoblob shop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The guy in there that you met, I believe you asked about whether Zoblob was the beholder or
Yeah.
him, and he was vague in how he answered you.
That's true.
I thought when
yeah.
we met Schemo, he was a different guy.
Yeah, I thought he was like human.
No, Schemo Weird Bottle, the guy that you brokered the merger about Duskwood paper with, is the same guy dressed all in purple from old Zoblob's shop or Zoblob's shop, however you say it. Weird.
Well, what the fuck?
So anyway, but he's a deep gnome and he's dressed all in purple all the time, and does not fit the description of the corpse that you saw in the blast. As you run your mind back, other mentions of gnomes. About the only other thing that comes to mind is that Jarlaxle did ask you about a gnome. Your party.
Oh.
When you were on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted info about a gnome named Dalakar. And he had
Oh, yeah. Okay.
a gnome that was connected to Renair somehow. Renair Neverwinter. And he had requested that you ask Renair about him and bring him any information that you found.
Okay. I wonder if perhaps that was the gnome that
Okay.
Jarlaxle was looking for. But the problem is, how would he know? How would the gnome know that we were looking for him? Because we didn't have time to ask Neverwinter about it, right?
No, you hadn't. You've seen Renair since then, but it was in the midst of your tavern opening, and so didn't have anything to say.
Perhaps Renair sang our praises and this gnome was looking for some assistance.
That's quite possible.
I can also have, as you are discussing the clues and everything here, Porter and Garrosh.
Yo.
You can both make history checks.
All right.
Oh, and Garrosh, you can do it with advantage because this has to do with Gond.
Okay.
Hey, where'd it go?
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, actually, y'all are all just kind of sitting here with your head in your hands, like getting headaches, thinking, trying to see if you can come up with any connections. And Garrosh, all of a sudden you sit back and you think, you're thinking about Gond and all the associations. And the last time, you know that a couple of 10 days ago, there was the Days of Wonder parade that's held yearly. And it's arranged by Gond's priest. And they always have, like, it's it's a parade, so they always have, like, these kind of mechanical marvels and other displays and everything of their work. and it's something of like Days of Wonders. It's something of a spectacle
Yeah.
of some of these amazing artifice type things. And one of the highlights of the year was the House of Inspired Hands, which involves a bunch of clockwork constructs, people, not necessarily intelligent. You're not really sure.
Yeah.
But mechanical humanoid constructs.
Okay. So yeah.
And as you think about that, you think about the witness who mentioned seeing a puppet without strings.
Okay, so yes, so the House of Inspired Hands is my temple. So I will.
That DC to that check was 12. Just so you
Okay, thank God.
There's other ways to find these things out, but that will shortcut things a little bit for you.
Okay, great. So yeah, I tell y'all about all that good stuff.
And you know the Temple of Gond in the city is called the House of Inspired Hands, and you know that because you've been there occasionally since you grew up here. That it is in the Sea Ward.
Yes, it's going to be to the west. Yeah, northwestish.
So, this is I don't know if y'all can all see over here. It's very much on the coast, in the northwestern corner of Waterdeep. But the Temple of Gond seems to be your next destination if you wish to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's already bad enough going for my own reasons.
Cool.
All right, so y'all want to head out there now, or what would you like to do?
I was hoping that we would get to go to the Bent Nail, but are things still too hopping outside for us to go down that way?
Is there still a guard watching us?
Whoa.
They're not posted outside your doors anymore, but there are guards posted on the corners, and quite a few guards still posted at other places' doors. And you catch sight of Barnabas and Crawley turning it into Fala's house as they greet them at the door and invite them in.
Cool.
So yeah, they're making the round still. Probably not the best time to be going around asking questions since they just told you not to.
Don't ask questions.
To leave well enough alone.
Well, they told us not to leave town.
Well, they said they said that they'd heard you all fancied yourself investigators and that these things were best left to the officials.
That's true.
Yeah.
No,
Where's the fun in that?
Exactly. But you now have a solid lead, so.
Yes, we do. I say that we go, and if asked, we should come up with another reason as to where we're going.
I don't think anyone's going to stop you and ask you where you're going.
And if anybody asks about us going to the House of Inspired Hands, that's the temple of my god, so they can kind of fuck off.
It's my god.
It's my god, yeah.
God. Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that y'all have already been questioned and, none of you were taken into custody or anything like that. I mean, you're not under arrest or house arrest or anything like that, so you can come and go freely.
Yeah.
Sounds
We're just
good to
hopping
me.
over to the next ward.
Yeah, not going anywhere. All right,
Okay.
so as you take off, Lucan stops you all and says he's actually going to try to very discreetly, see if he can. He'll leave the neighborhood and quest around, see if he can pick up the trail of that that third Zent that seemed to escape.
Sounds good. Be careful.
And as we enter into the C ward, I would like for... Look, I did this. I made one of these things. Porter, if you could roll me a D100, please.
Go on, lucky number 7.
All right, this is fun. All right, yeah, this works out great. So yeah, as y'all come into the C ward, the air is much fresher down here. The entire ward seems to slowly slope down towards the sea, and out in front of you, you can see the. It's quite a vista. I know y'all have seen this before, but let's see if I can find it for you. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Anyways, the view. It's beautiful. But
blown away.
Carter Mariah, you see, you catch sight of a up on a wall is a very sleek, white-haired cat that you recognize, and as the one that spoke to you with a human's voice, and it seems to be somewhat cornered by a pack of scrawny dogs that are like sort of harrying it, harassing it, and you can see it looks a little frightened, and it's about twice its usual size because it's all puffed up and hissing.
Oh, I will go over and shoo the dogs away.
All right. Go ahead and make a animal handling check.
All right.
I thought you said shoot the dogs at first.
Yeah. Hopefully
You can
this
do it
will
with, well, if you can figure out a way to tell me you're getting advantage on it, I'll let you make advantage on the roll.
I'm a druid.
Yeah. What else you
I guess
got?
I could do intimidation with my glowing skin.
Sure, yeah, you can do intimidation instead with advantage.
Okay, perfect. I definitely don't look human. Oh.
Yeah, they take one look at you and it's just like, and they tuck their tails between their legs and run. The 10, the animal handling, I'll say, was on the cat, who seems to calm down and lets you pick it up.
Good.
And you notice that it has a collar around its neck with a little tag. And yeah, it just seems like a normal cat, though it doesn't appear to be the voice that it spoke with. I think you had determined before was by the animal messenger spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And someone had just used this cat for that, and it seems to maybe have been lost for a while, because it looks like maybe it was used for that spell and then possibly never found its way home again. Because it's got it's a little dirty, this white fur, it seems a little thin around the ribs, but yet at the same time when you had seen it, it was like sleek and healthy and well cared for.
Oh, we gotta
yes.
we gotta take it back to its home.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna probably have some meat or something on me, and I will feed it some.
And I'll have Porter. This thing seems to like you so far. Porter, you could make a investigation check.
Okie dokie. What do my... Oh, geez.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you look at the collar and you're like,
It looks alive.
Really, you're not wrong.
You can make an investigation check as well, Carter Murray, if you like.
I can make a good soup out of it.
No. Perish the thought.
Well, I can do much better either.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
Perish the cat.
Yeah. Yeah, come on.
I start to cry.
The little tag is it's been badly bent and scratched, and it's hard to see what it says. You think maybe if you had a chance to clean it up, you might be able to figure it out, but at this point, you find yourselves with a cat in tow.
All right. Well, I guess it's I'm going to be taking this with me now. I have got
And
me
it's-
cat.
You have
it's-
acquired baggage.
Yeah. Item get
Exactly.
cat.
It settles itself comfortably around your shoulders like a stole,
Aww.
and it's like purring in your ear. It seems
Don't
to be
give it a
very
name.
happy to
Don't give it a name.
be draped around your warm neck.
Aw. Well, that's true. I am the best with animals because I'm always warm.
I'm giving it a name.
There you go.
Mr.
Oh, give
Snuggles.
it their name?
No.
Oh,
As if it suddenly disappears,
Snowball.
all of a sudden it's going to be like, where's Mr. Snuggles?
Damn
Oh, no.
right.
We actually cared about that thing. Or did you eat it? No, why would you say such a thing?
You said it'd make a good soup. Stew, I don't know.
oh my gosh, I love it.
Or are you hungry? Why, yes, I am. Thanks for asking.
I love
All right.
it.
Well, as you all make your way, it takes well, I guess it depends if you are walking or not. Probably not at this point, right?
Well, we got a cat
you
now, so
you spend a couple of silver to take the carriage here, I assume.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is where it would have dropped you off here in the center area.
Okay.
So, yeah, you make your way with Garrosh's help down towards the House of Inspired Hands. And as you come around the corner, you can see ahead of you is a large and imposing building that looks somehow like a cross between a temple and a workshop. And most prominent is the symbol of Gond, that toothed cog with the 4 spokes that is displayed prominently right out in front. As you look up on the slanted roof, and you actually see a humanoid shape perched on the rooftop. And as you cross underneath the symbol of Gond, you see it extend an arm, and there's sort of a flash of metal, and something comes whizzing towards you from the sky. And I would like, or Lucan, who is not here, just kidding,
Try again.
make a dexterity saving throw.
Is this a projectile coming at me?
Yes, we'll say it is.
Oh, because I have an
Right.
ability.
Uh-huh.
But
Every time she says Druck, all I can think of is maybe movie. What's that song? Dang it! It's a thong song.
Oh my god.
All right.
Classic.
You. So what's your ability?
let's see. It only triggers if I'm actually hit with ranged attack.
Okay, let me try something right here.
I can
So the
use my
thing
reaction.
whizzes past you, and then turns on a dime, and there's like a fluttering of wings, and it spirals back towards you. And what's your AC?
15.
Yeah, it does seem to be attacking you, but it misses you. So what do you do?
I look at Garrosh and say, I had no idea your family would be so inviting.
Did you say you caught it?
No, I can only try to catch it if it hits me.
Oh, if it hits
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, if it hits me, I can use my reaction to potentially either reduce the damage or catch it.
I see. Well, it is spinning back around towards you. So let's see what happens.
It just keeps
It
getting
missed.
attacked.
It missed
from
you
me.
again, but no. But this time, as it just like whizzes past you, narrowly missing your ear, it's like it sounds almost like a hummingbird. And as you turn to follow its trajectory, it just smashes into a pillar next to you and slides to the ground. And you can see, sort of twitching and whirring, is a broken mechanical bird.
Yeah, I want to pick that up and pocket it.
Okay. All right, you have a mechanical bird.
Do we still see the is that figure still up there?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see just what looks like a head, a very sort of elongated, cylindrical head looking at you from over the rooftop, and then it ducks out of sight.
We need to get up there and see what that was.
On it. All right.
Nice.
Can I chase?
Yes. So the Temple of Gond is open and abuzz with activity right now during these daylight hours. And you can see Garrosh. I like to think that as you turned towards the opening of this temple, you hear in your head alone a sort of riff of music as standing in the doorway you see
Dog.
you see
Oh my gosh, the suspense.
I know, right? Dang it.
Even the
It's doing
horse
that
is
thing
a
again where
suspense.
it's doing that thing again where it doesn't show me the handout, so I can just show you what the people look like without having to show you their entire character sheet.
Yeah. Huh.
So 1 second, and let me make one real quick.
There's that guy.
Yeah, there's that guy.
Hey. There's a Swedish chef in the background.
Never.
You see a tall, bronze, dragonborn lady.
Okay.
I'd
And,
just rather see the Swedish chef.
the vestments of Gond, and with a I don't know, either a sink or a skip to your heart, you recognize her as someone that you know is a fairly new priestess
Yes.
here, and depending on what you want your past interaction with her to have been, you either like her or you don't like her or something in between. But anyway, there she be.
Okay.
Can I
There she be.
while this is happening, can I run off and like climb and see if I can find that guy?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Make a stealth check while you're at it. That's going to be with disadvantage because you're in sunlight.
I'm just trying to like scamper up something to see if I can see where he went.
Sure. As you start to like scamper up the temple, a hand reaches out and grasps you by the scruff of your clothing and pulls you back down, and you turn to see a very elderly, even somewhat portly, female elven woman. And she levels a gaze at you and she says, "You weren't trying to climb the walls of the temple, were you, child?"
I'm not.
I didn't think so. Please, enter by the front gate. And then she clasps her hands and bows at you before turning and wandering off.
Like awkwardly bow back and be like, "Ugh," and then follow everybody else.
Okay.
All right. So, you all approach, and Valletta sees you, Garrosh, and she comes forward and smiles, and she says, "Ah, Garrosh, it has been too long. Please, come forward."
Okay. Yeah. I do so. I haven't really thought about how I was going to talk to people at the temple. Oh no.
To what do we owe your visit? It is past your devotional, I am thinking.
You are most likely correct in that thought.
Of course I am.
You know me too well. Don't.
Of course I do.
Please, just don't mention this to Father. So, So what's the deal with the metal man on the roof? Have you noticed? We have a friend up there.
She looks a little taken aback for a moment, but then she says, "Oh, why, that is Nim. He is our Nimblewright, gifted to the temple recently by a wizard from across the seas."
Oh.
Any particular reason why he's sending little contraptions down after people visiting?
Yes, he threw a mechanical bird at my friend here.
Oh, that does not sound like a Nim at all. He is usually so very well behaved. Ah, well, there's one way to find out. Follow me. We will go and ask him.
We'll go break his legs.
Thank you, Valetta.
Exactly. I know nothing of this aggression. He does not usually show such aggression. He threw what?
It was a mechanical bird. At first,
If I was guessing, and she's saying this, as
Shoot, I was still muted. Sorry. Yeah, I take it out of my pocket and show them.
Oh yeah, she kind of looks it over, but doesn't take it from you. She says, if I was guessing, he has a propensity for curiosity that you do not usually see in something of his nature. We attempt to indulge him, but please, let us. I would think it is most likely an accident. And she's leading you up a curved flight of stairs that goes up a tall tower. And after a moment, you come to a landing, and there is a door in the ceiling with a ladder leading up to it, like an attic. And as she climbs and she starts to open it, and then she kind of goes, "Oh, Nim," and there is a lock fitted on the door, and she looks down at you all, and she says, "This is new."
Is it out of his behavior? Or is this something that would be common among, or for Nim?
Anything mechanical is common for Nim, I am afraid, but I'm afraid I also do not have a key. I did not recognize this lock, as she's like pulling out a ring of keys on her waist and kind of flipping through it. She says, "Perhaps one of you would like to give it a go?"
Well, with your permission, of course.
Of course, please. I wish to get to the bottom of this.
So I'll be like, look what I just happened to have. And then pull out my thieves' tools. Let's see. I gotta set the query on this. Whoa.
Nice.
hell yeah.
Yeah, this was a very high DC, a 20 DC.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Good job.
And I rolled that with disadvantage on accident.
I know.
Wow.
Girosh, you see Valletta like crook a scaly eyebrow at the speed and ease with which your companion dispatches this very complicated lock. But yes, it clicks open, and Druck, you give it a little push, and it swings up on a hinge. And
Wonderful work, Druck. And I will
Lucky, I guess.
as you look into, let me see if I can. I'm gonna put this in Facebook just because I feel like they should have a picture of these things, but I've been unable to find one. I'll probably find it, at the end of the session, the way I always do. But anyway, this guy is not armed or goateed. But here's what Nimblewrights look like. Kind of like C-3PO, but a little bit more steampunky, and with a longer, more cylindrical head. And this one is wearing vestments of Gond, just like in sort of a Jedi tabard looking type thing back in front.
That's super cool.
And he is just sitting at an open window, and sort of seems to be nervously fiddling with a handful of like mechanical parts. at his knees.
On seeing it, and do I recognize it as the figure that we saw earlier?
Uh,
Or is it too hard to tell?
I would say that it's hard to tell, but this window here seems to be, I mean, like where you are is in relation to just below where you saw the head earlier. And,
Okay.
when you look out the window, the roof that you saw it on was the roof of this little tower.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were asking about saw on the roof of the scene of the crime, the scene of the explosion.
Oh, no.
No, that was my fault. I just
Okay,
realized I was.
so-
And as you all kind of come up, you all heard sort of a little crash, and there's a couple of cogs that are like still spinning in a circle, as they come to rest. And it looks as though it had been maybe hiding, and then when you all came in, it decided there was no need to hide anymore. But it lifts both its hands and in a very complicated series of gestures begins to sign to Valletta.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
interesting.
And she begins to sign back, and let's see, and she asks them about she starts translating for you all as she speaks, and she says, "Nim, these people say that you attacked them with a mechanical bird. I know you would not do such a thing. Please tell me it's not so." And then translates.
Leading the witness. Objection.
It's just her manner, her figure, she translates and says, "I lost control, mistress. I am contrite." And she says, "Yes, but did you attack them?" And no attack. It was an accident.
Can I roll an insight on that and see
You
if
certainly can, but with
it's-
disadvantage.
yeah,
May
because
I as well, or since I was the one attacked,
Yeah, I'll let both of you do it.
with both disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, do you feel attacked?
Okay.
no, 15's not bad.
For a mechanical construct, this thing is surprisingly emotive, and it does seem to, like have a lot of humanistic mannerisms, and it seems to wear its heart on its sleeve, and it does seem to be ashamed and sincere.
Cool.
In that case, I will walk up to him and hand him the bird.
It takes it very, very gently from you,
Aw.
and then looks up at Valletta and with one hand signs, "May I make amends?" "Of course, Nim, always." And he, with his fingers split and all these little tool manipulating, like jeweler's tool type things come like it's like he's got Swiss Army knives in his fingers.
Swiss
you know?
Army fingers is
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
about to
Swiss Army
say.
fingers.
Yes.
There you go.
gosh.
And then just with a whirl of very precise activity, it's almost like he spans the thing between his hands and then closes them, and he holds out his clasped hands towards you, Druck, and then when he opens his hands in front of your face, there is a tiny flying hummingbird, mechanical hummingbird.
Oh. I'll kind of give
a
a round of applause.
he kind of ducks his head shyly and signs, "For you, as an apology. Please believe it was an accident.
Oh.
I seem to be making many mistakes lately."
It's not good. It's not good.
I'll look at him and I'll take it and give him just a big old like toothy kobold smile and say, It is okay. You missed me 3 times, I think. So it's all right.
I'll step forward and pat Nim on the shoulder and say, accidents happen, and the accidents happen, and as long as apologies are made, it is always all right.
All right, let me put this into the chat real quick. The thing that you have picked up.
Whoa.
All right. So, after this, Valletta turns to you all and she says, "Well, shall we continue with your devotional then? I am glad this has worked out. Perhaps I will have an artificer come and check them out, and to make sure that he is entirely working at his best capacity." And she gives him like a little reassuring pat on the shoulder.
There you
And she's
Of
signing this whole time. The entire time she's there, she signs everything that she says.
Oh, okay.
So that he's
Has
and
she
she
been-
signs everything you say as well. She's acting as a translator
Okay.
Oh, okay.
and not leaving him out of the conversation.
Oh, okay. I'll say, he only speaks in sign then?
That is correct.
Could you show me how to say thank you?
she
And I'm
does.
directing that at her, and I will do the sign to Nim.
Yeah, he seems very happy and signs back what is translated as "You're welcome, mistress."
And I will pat him on the shoulder and kind of give him like a little bit of a half hug and be like, "No, I just adopted my first mechanical grandbaby."
I am very confused about this grandbaby. So
We all
Valletta
are.
Valletta begins to escort you back out, considering that she seems to think that this was not the reason you all were here in the first place, and is
It's true.
leading you on.
Perfect. I will ask how to say goodbye, and I will sign that back to him real quick, and as we head out.
I'll also do it, but probably awkwardly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
So
I'll
tell
do
me,
the,
and she's saying this
universal
as she's
sign of
starting
saying
to
goodbye,
leave.
which is waving your hand.
As she starts to she starts to descend first, and as she begins to descend, she says back over her shoulder, "So what did you come here for?"
Oh, for my devotions, obviously. But
Obviously.
but before we get to that, it's a coincidence that Nim is here now, that we got to meet him. I was just thinking this morning about the recent parade and all the wonderful things we had to show during that, and was just wanting to come and learn more about these Nimblewrights and just see what it's all about.
Oh
She stops
yes,
and-
I'm so fascinated by them. They're just so wonderful that you can, create these beings that, that are like, what's the word? I'm that are. I don't even know what I'm trying to fucking say. Basically, I'm just like, I start gushing on about like how fascinated I am by these. You said they were Nimbanites,
Nimblewrights.
Nimblewrights. Yeah, I'll be like, they're just so. Just so interesting, and I'm so excited that we got to meet one, and blah blah blah, stuff like that.
As you say that, it's so wonderful how you can create these beings and everything.
Yes.
Valletta says, "Oh, we do not make them here. They were gifted to us by the wizards of Lantanese, Lantanese wizards." There we go. I'm not really sure.
Oh.
What that means this one. But as she's saying this, Nim just kind of suddenly starts and signs, "I would not know anything about that." And Valletta stops and looks at him, and she says, "What was that, Nim?" And he signs nervously, "I would not know anything about that." And she says, "About what, Nim?" And he says, I I am making the line thing.
Oh.
I do know about the creation.
When a
He's
mommy
not gonna
robot and a
explode
daddy
up.
robot love
Yeah.
each other very much.
He's gonna
Oh.
explode on us.
I have created.
Oh no.
You've created other Nimblewrights?
Just
He's-
one.
He's replicating.
Nim is
Oh.
lonely.
Well,
Oh, honey, I'm so
Where?
sorry.
where are they now?
Nim is sad. It ran from Nim.
Oh, poor dear. Could you tell us a little more about them? Maybe we can find them and bring him back, or bring them back to you.
And
And Valletta says, "This is serious, Nim.
do they have a taste for blood?
Oh
Human
no.
blood.
Oh no.
You know that you have been specifically limited in your creation to small things." And she seems really sad.
Mhm.
And Nim hangs his head. And Valletta says, "I will be right back." And she starts walking down the ladder.
Oh,
And you can't really say much
Yeah, we don't.
to Nim while she's not
Damn.
there. But he just kind of sits there and looks at you all and just kind of twirls his thumbs and
shoot.
seems awkward.
Is there any paper or something around that we could try writing to each other? I don't know if he can write
You could.
in
Yeah, you
basic.
can try.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll find like I'll either pull out or I'll find a quill and some paper, and I'll write down. Be like, can you write whatever language this is? Whatever language it would
Just
be called.
common.
Just common. I'll be like, can you write in common?
He nods.
Oh, wonderful. And so I'll write down. Can you tell us a little bit more about your friend?
He says he begins to write and he can write very quickly. And he says, Nim was lonely, and so Nim created a companion. But the companion was not bound to the temple as Nim is, and could come and go. It seemed to have inherited Nim's curiosity for the world, and would longer and longer be gone. Despite my pleadings, it left Nim.
Oh. There,
And I have been unable to find it. But, and then he stands up suddenly and walks over to a clutter of stuff on the floor and starts rummaging around in it. And he seems to be looking back at the trapdoor nervously a couple of times, but eventually comes up with I have to do another thing into Facebook chat, but with this. So Facebook is where you'll see the picture of the thing it pulls out of this pile, and then it comes back and starts writing furiously again, and it says, and the message that it writes out says, "It was confused and frightened and anxious to leave me, but this will help you find it. I have made it. Please find it." And,
I will read it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And Nim will repay you as best as Nim can.
I will write down. We will absolutely look for your friend. Does your friend have a name?
And he just shakes his head. No.
I'll pat him on the shoulder and I say, well, I'll write down. I'll be like, we will go out there and we will do everything in our power to find your friend, Nim. I'll just ask for any other, is there anything any place that we could potentially start looking that Nim could think of?
He just shrugs his shoulders.
Ask if.
But he holds it out to you all and begins to turn the crank, and it begins to spin.
Okay.
And he points it at himself, and there's no change. And then he points it out the window, and it begins to spin just imperceptibly faster.
Oh.
And then he writes down. He says that you hold down the trigger and kind of crank it.
Okay.
And if you come within 500 feet of a Nimblewright other than himself, the umbrella will begin to spin and whir and click.
Okay.
And it will accelerate as the distance to the target lessens, reaching maximum velocity and volume when a Nimblewright other than Nim is within 30 feet of the device. And I'll put that in the chat as well.
Nice. I will write down. Thank you so much. This is going to be so useful. I can't think of anything else. Anything else useful? Can you guys? Do you guys have anything to ask Nim?
As you take this thing, you hear Valletta and other footsteps on the stairs below.
Okay.
I will quickly hide the paper.
What about the contraption?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put the contraption in.
Just shove it in my bandolier. I have so many tools on me; they're not going to see it.
Yeah, I'll give it to Garash. I'll give that to Garash, and I'll fold the paper up and slip it into my dress, because they're not going to feel me up. I mean, they'll probably want to, but they're not going to.
So as Valletta's head crests the opening, she is speaking, and her eyebrows are frowning sternly, and she says, Nim, I am sorry, but attacking our guests by accident or no, and now this blatant disregard of regulations, you know what has to be done. And she's followed by several acolytes, and they all just start packing away Nim's stuff, his materials and inventions, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, and they just start carting it all out, basically stripping him of any ability to be able to make anything.
Oh no! And I'll say, well, it was merely an accident. You know, you don't have to worry about it or anything. You don't have to take this away from him.
I'm sorry, but I believe that I and my God know best in this situation. I appreciate your concern, and I know that it may seem harsh, but this is necessary. The construct that Nim has unleashed upon the city is dangerous.
Well, why would that be?
It's unfortunately it is best for now. Yes.
I'm gonna kind of like look over. I'm fishing for information when I'm asking this. I'll be like, well, why would it be dangerous?
Nim is under, and she stopped signing at this point. But she says, Nim is under magical regulations of creation that control his behavior. The first, do no harm.
Oh.
The second, and yeah, she lists off the rest of those robot things. I don't know what they are, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's basically, it's the laws of, robotics or whatever that keep a robot from, being able to
hurt people.
Yeah.
Rising up.
Exactly.
Overthrowing.
Become, sentient, being outside of itself and all that kind of stuff.
Becoming Gideon.
Yeah.
Yeah, in essence, we've got an iRobot situation going on right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
So
Will Smith's going to come through that door any second now.
Anyway, she says, I'm afraid that we are going to have to suspend hours here at the House of Inspired Hands until we get this sorted out. I must notify the Watch, and we will see if we can't find this wayward Nimblewright.
Well, of course, if there's anything we can do, please let us know. We're happy to help in any way we can.
And she looks at you, Garrosh, and she says, I hear that you are something of a freelancer these days. Perhaps you and your friends can track down this thing. And if you can bring it back to me, if you can destroy it and bring it back to me, I will pay you 500 gold pieces.
All right, I'm happy to do this if the rest of the group is interested as well.
And at this point, y'all have all reached the ground floor, and Nim is just sort of like slowly clunking along behind you all,
No.
shoulders slumped, head down. And Valletta says 500 gold pieces, and then she turns and gestures at the hall in front of you, in which you see like a rows and rows of plinth that start low and then go higher, all of them with magically suspended in glowing golden light artifacts of artifice of all different kinds. And she says, and your choice of an artifact of Gond.
Oh well, I'm always happy to help, others. So I'm more than willing to go out and help search for this Nimblewright.
Sorry to interrupt. Could I tell if she was referring to just Garrosh or talking to all of us? Like we all get an artifact.
Oh, just one is what she's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait. You receive the promise from officer of them, one each. The following non-magical. Okay, no, I take it back. It'd be each of you would get to pick one out.
Oh, fantastic.
They're non-magical inventions, so they're not anything like super powerful, but they're cool. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
But you have to provide proof of the destruction of the Nimblewright in order to receive both payment and items.
All right, we can destroy artificial life.
Valletta, you can count on us.
We are happy to help.
It looks like it'll be 4. So I know there are 5 of y'all total with Lucan, but she's offering 4. I may be able to come up with a 5th. I probably can. I'm sure I could.
Oh, Garrosh could make his own.
Well, you do have, I guess, already sort of a down payment in the mechanical bird.
That's true.
But anyways.
I will say, be like, you for sure want it dead. Do you, or would you prefer us to bring it back to you alive? I don't know much about this
I
sort
must
of thing.
correct you. These things are not alive or dead. They are constructs given intelligence and agency by the prayers to Gond himself. Please do not mistake Nim's affectations for actual feelings or emotions. And she says, destroy this thing and show me proof, and you will receive your reward.
What kind of proof would you like? Like, I guess whatever
Whatever you can
of
manage.
his heart.
Whatever you
Okay.
can manage.
Whatever remains of it, we will return.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So you all head out into the city again. Looks like we're about 10 minutes away from close, so we can do a couple. I mean, if y'all want to try out your thing, that's probably about all we have time for.
There you go. Well, if I guess since it's only 10 minutes, if we could do, I guess, kind of like, how in anime they'll have the filler, anime beach or hot springs episode. Could we do that really fast and have you meet up with the Emerald Glade person? It doesn't have to take if it's not too long or not.
I don't think we have quite enough time for that.
Oh, okay. It's going to take a
honestly.
while. Never mind then.
Well, same question, but assuming it's going to be the same answer. What about me and Jarl Axel?
Yeah, I think we should definitely. Y'all are going to have time. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
To use this thing, you're going to have to spend about a half day per ward.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So there will definitely be some time in there next session for y'all to, because we're going to be moving around the wards now. So if while
Okay.
you're in a certain ward, if you want to or go to a certain ward first and also run those errands, I'll make sure to prep that for next session for anyone who needs to run some little side quest. They can.
Sounds good.
But
Well, do we have
if
anything
you would
else
like
wanna
to,
do around
you
here
can
then?
go ahead and search this ward since you're in it,
Oh yeah, good idea.
and then we will close at that.
Sounds good. So search the ward for both the Nimblewright and if there's any place that might be of interest, I would like to look for that too.
Okay. Let's see. So you're going to spend about half a day here, so pretty much the until dinner time, I would say, is how long you will be here. And you find a couple of points of interest while you're searching here, which is also another good reason to do this. You find the Temple of Beauty. I don't know what
Cool.
any of these things are, just so you'll know. But I can find out. The Shrines of Nature. The
Well,
Tower
the Temple of
Luck.
Beauty. Temple of Beauty, clearly we found where I have to now live.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, we already know where it is. It's me.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that too. But no, I was
House
going to
of
say we found my new
Wonder.
home.
And this one sounds like a brothel.
I think the Tower of Luck sounds like a brothel.
No, the House of the Moon. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Nah, I'm sure that's a Timora thing.
And let's see, anything else? Major. There's up here at the very top, there's this hero's garden. I can't
yeah.
tell whether these things are in the... Oh,
Yeah,
and then
that's
there
right.
is one large... the statue in this ward is called the God Catcher. And let's see if I can find a picture of that for you real quick. If you recall, though, there's a bunch of
Big ass statues.
all over the place. Oh, these are all so cool. I love them. This is some, and they almost all of them have official art. So here's the official art. You can see it in the Facebook.
Cool.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Snow move.
It's a snow globe.
Oh, that's
Here's
really
a
cool.
somebody's 3D render of it, because people make renders of these things to use on their tabletop maps and stuff. So I'll show you that because it's easier to see.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that one's one of my favorites.
Very
But despite your searching, the Nimblewright detector does not activate in any real way that you can see.
Yeah.
No change.
Makes sense.
Nice. Well, then we probably should hustle back home and get ready for tonight's opening.
True. So anyway, that is as far as we're going to get tonight. And,
All right.
I will, like I said, I'll make sure to prep for your faction visits next time. So if any of y'all besides
Sounds good.
Jimmy and Alex have something that you would like to do, let me know, and
Yeah.
we can hit them up as y'all literally comb the city.
This is
That
gonna
never
be
sleeps.
fun. All right.
Yeah. My thing mainly is go to talk to Jarlaxle since I
definitely will.
encountered the guy that was supposed to be dead but isn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we
just
gotta
so
give
I
the
know.
handkerchief to Daisy or whatever her name was.
I know to prep. If you want to speak to Jarlaxle, do y'all want to go to the dock ward next?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Well, we've got to give the handkerchief to that little girl, right? Or have we done that?
No, you haven't done it yet.
Okay, so we should probably do that one, and then we've got to tell that person, whoever we have to tell them that whatever she can wipe her nose now or something.
Yeah.
So like, I guess we could do that in the latter half of the day if we. I mean, I don't know how long it would take for Jarlaxle to get that message.
Or you could just tell him himself. I mean, that
Oh, that's
if
true,
you could
yeah.
find him. That was more for like just a way to keep y'all from making the whole trip again if you didn't want to. But if you're heading,
Okay.
if you're wanting to speak to him anyway, you can just tell him.
Yeah,
in person.
that's fair. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Then yeah, we can do that.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you all.
Awesome. Alrighty, I'm gonna head to bed because I have to be up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Good night.
Sleep well,
Bye.
and be prepared for combat next session.
Ooh, fuck yes. Let's not get caught by the cops. I ain't going back to jail.
I can't go back.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, GG.
All right.
Right.
Good job, everybody. Good job.